Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 443 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gamer podcast for Words About Games. I am one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander, joined this week by Hot Tuner himself. It's Daffin Moody.
Oodly doodly do, everybody. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day. All hail video games. Hallelujah to you all.
That was just creepy.
To be honest, that was more sinister than the previous weeks.
That was like the other ones were just like weird. That was really creepy. I don't know
My
how I
ultimate
feel
goal
about
would be to try and say all of that in Japanese. That would be fucking awesome.
that.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I mean, hey, aim high.
End of year goal. We'll see what happens.
Duolingo, teach me that shit.
Duolingo, teach me something useful.
Exactly.
For fuck's sake.
Don't just give me the guilt trip.
We're also joined this week by the Lone Wolf,
Oh,
the pixel pop star themselves. It's Vitz Patel.
thank you very much. What's good, gamers? How are we all doing out there? Thanks to everyone who has come through, shown support, shown love for Pixel Pop Stars. We were lucky enough to have our grand final last week, where the one and only Amy K. Alexander featured as well as one of our winners. And it was a whole lot of fun. And all the episodes are available on YouTube at the moment. And one of the things we announced as a special announcement is that we will be running it back. So Pixel Pop Stars Season 2 is returning. Applications are now open to be a contestant. There's a QR code on my socials and all different kinds of fun to be had. And
We'll make a new ad.
return
We-
back
we-
to your screens.
For the middle of the podcast. Not this
Yes.
week, but we'll make a new ad going forward.
Because I've got to come up with a new name for. I can't call it the all new game show on Twitch because it's now no longer all new. So I need to come up with a new line for that. So if you have any suggestions, put them down in the comments below because we're workshopping things at the moment. We'll be returning back to Twitch and on YouTube in May. So we're going to take April off to personally take some time out, rejig some shows, think about some formats and some things, and give people time to apply to be on the show. So it's going to be a fun old time.
I have a bone to pick with your Twitch chat regarding the Pixel Pop Stars grand finale. Like at the end, right after the show was over and we did the outro, and then we came back and we chatted for a bit, and you were like, "Hey, Amy, how you feeling?" And I was like, "Fuck how I'm feeling." I wanted everyone in chat, and I said this. I vocalized this out loud. Everyone in chat to like just give shout outs to Vitz for like the amazing work that you put in, and no one did. I was watching. I was looking at chat the entire time. Not one person gave a shout out. I'm very disappointed in all of
Might
you.
have been better if the winner did it, not the loser.
I mean, that might be.
You're talking a lot of shit for someone. You talk for someone who wasn't even a contestant. I'm just...
I will say I can't speak for chat, but to all of the finalists who I hit up afterwards, when I reached out to them to thank for them being part of the process and all the rest of it, they were really kind with their words in terms of the show and how much fun they had.
Oh, I got no problem with the contestants. The contestants were fantastic and amazingly complimentary.
I can't speak for Twitch chat, but I imagine they had a grand old time.
I can't be better.
Have verbalized it and written it down, but it's all good.
My wall
Pixel
in
Pop
season
Stars back
2
in
is
May.
not with any contestants. It's with Twitch chat.
Yes. But yeah, like in season 1, there was some legends formed, the legend of Ratatouille and the beef between Robin and Chaz, and so much more. I may need to make an absorb off emote. I need to look at what one is. I understand they're played by PTK, but I couldn't tell you what they look like.
Oh god!
And-
Just don't watch the episode.
Trust me, I've got no plans on watching Go Doctor. But no, we had a grand old time, and like it was another evolution of the show as well, not because it was just the final, but in terms of their formatting, including some breaks in there, so our contestants can be refreshed and whatnot, and not kind of slugging through special subject showdown and needing to go to the bathroom and stuff
Like
like
this.
that. So yeah, exactly. Amy just blurting out an answer before I
don't
read
know.
the question.
Star Trek.
Exactly. Yeah. But no,
honestly,
I think
go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go finish.
I was going to say,
What were you
like,
gonna say?
we had plenty of fun in games with the visual aspects to Special Subject Showdown as well. And yeah, I had fun putting all those together with the musical cues and things like that. So yeah, be sure to check out the edit that's on YouTube. All the breaks are cut out and edited, and yeah, the musical cues are there, and it'll be much higher quality than they would be on Twitch, thanks to the compression that it does there. Moody.
Oh, it was awesome to watch, no doubt about it, and everything like that. I'll say right now, I've applied to be a contestant next year for the next season.
Yeah, you have.
I was the first one. When I saw it, I was thinking, you know what? Fucking do this. I'm going in and everything like that. I thought, oh, if Amy wants to be a loser, I'll be a loser as well. Let's join it and let's do this. Let's be losers together.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Trivia.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
Gone to the final.
No, it was so good. And I won't lie, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending is really good. So, and I think it was a lot of fun and everything. But yeah, like some of the knowledge from some of the
Contestants.
The contestants, yeah, my brain was just like, what the fuck? My brain literally just went, see, loser already, guys. I'm gonna lose already. But yeah, it was amazing. It was really, really good. So I was like, geez, man, some of them just popped some of those questions out of nowhere.
Some of them activated. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, for some of the more obscure topics, I'm very open in. Don't have a clue about any of them, kind of thing. So I drafted them some ghostwriters, but always tricky when you do that because they don't know how tricky to make the questions in terms of scaling it towards everybody else as well, in terms of if I make for example, Amy's categories of a certain level, how do I make sure that the ghostwriter knows that they need to be of a certain level? Because you're comparing apples and oranges at that point. It might as well be apples and orangutans for how varied the subjects are. So yeah. But
you went deep on my questions. Like, I was quite impressed with how niche some of the questions were.
Because like we have a you had like preliminary round to get yourself into the final. There is a defined set of questions, and obviously you can't run those back again. Just say, remember what you answered for question 6 last time?
No.
So you have to come up with you have to come up with new questions, kind of thing. So you do have to get more and more specific with it. But it was a fun challenge.
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I got to use a picture of my babyface Worf in season 1.
You did.
DS9.
You did. I like the pictures. They were a fun touch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the posters though, Amy, I was thinking, you don't know any of these posters at all.
All right, it's not that I don't know any of the posters. It's that if you like put something in front of me, and this is not a complaint for you, it's if you put something in front of me and pixelate it, I can't tell what it is. Like, I can't. Like, I was sat there just being like, oh, and like everybody else is answering them like on the first round, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah,
there's some pretty colors. I can.
Those that's very blue.
I'll spoil just a little bit of one of them where I was just like, it's fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer, guys! Come on! I got it right off the beginning. I was thinking, yeah, that's Buffy. It's Buffy. And I was just screaming at him, it's Buffy, Amy! It's Buffy, Amy! For God's sakes, you like Buffy, Amy! Come on!
Yeah, so let us know when you do come to watch this episode. Be sure to watch chat when the section of True Sight comes on, because it really pops off.
Oh yeah, I'd wish to say live in the episode to chat about that one. I'm losing all respect for you. Listen, dickhead.
It's easy, hard rocker.
It's easy when you're watching.
Oh yeah, when the pressure not on you, and you're like, because this I can't speak for you, Amy, but this might be an ability that you didn't know you had before you came to Pixel Pop Stars, in terms of pixelated images just aren't your thing.
Oh no, I already knew. Like, have you ever seen Mallrats?
Years and years
There's
ago.
the guy in front of the magic eye. There's a running joke throughout the whole film where he's trying to see the magic eye, and everybody keeps coming past and going, oh, a sailboat. And he's like, he can't see it. Like, I've known my entire life. So when I was a kid, I think it might be because when I was a kid, I had a lazy eye. Like, to the point where I was like going to doctors, and I was wearing eye patches and stuff. And I don't think they didn't fix it like 100%. And I think it might be because of that. But yeah, like blurred images and like pixelated images and magic eyes. And I can't even, like, if you do like a jigsaw, Like, I can't put a jigsaw together because, like, I can't figure out, like, I can't visualize the pieces when they're all scrambled up, like, which ones are supposed to fit together. And it's the same with tile puzzles. This is why I always get mad when I'm playing a game and it's like, now solve this tile puzzle. And I'm just like, fuck off. Why does every fucking horror game have a fucking tile puzzle in it?
Well, if you apply to be a contestant on season 2 of Pixel Pop Stars, then as your specialist requirement, you're more than welcome to put no games like True Sight.
Well, no, the thing is, one, it's just for fun. Like, you know, I'm not going in and being like, I have been cheated. Like, stop the count. You know. Like,
not legally distinct 90s game shows.
No, legally distinct 90s game shows is our thing. I can be as much of a tool as I want on that show.
You can be the heel character, yeah.
Like, I try to be respectful when it's on another platform with people I've never met before. But yeah, no. It, like, everybody else loved it. Like, chat loves it. Yeah. Like, it was everybody's favorite game. Like, the first time you did it. So, like, when it came up, yeah, you will see me in the episode just go, fuck. Because I was in the lead by that point, and I was like, I'm fucked.
I think your specific words were, how dare you do this to me, Vitz?
Yeah. Jamie, this is where you should have texted me and say, Moody, if no one answers from the beginning, text me it straight away. As I know you fucker would know it. But
like, no, one of the images was one of my specialist subjects, and it was just like, okay, that's great. It's very red.
Yeah. But here, Vitz, I've got an idea for you.
Sure.
Season 3.
Okay.
Season 3.
Tag team. Me and Amy come together. And we blitz it all as a tag team. Tag team Pixel Pop Stars. I think that'll be a good one.
Hey?
I think you should have team games. You introed so many things with, this is a solo game. And I was like, are there any non-solo games?
So Xbox is always a team game. But we ran that once. And because I knew that we couldn't do it as 4 people playing Hexbusters at once, but like 2 is like the usual like kind of format of the show. I'm thinking about whether to do it the final as 3 contestants working, but I'm not sure how messy that would be. But
the ultimate plot twist for the final: you all have to work together.
I am the GM. You must defeat me.
it just turns. It's not. So instead of specialist subject showdown, it's D&D time. Like what?
You'll need your D20 for Wheel of Fate. You need the other die for the game I'm about to run. But no, to be fair, like more team games would be fun, and I'm looking to introduce new elements to the show as well in terms of game formats and things like that. It's when the inspiration comes to me, then I'll be sure to make a note of it.
But when you think of tag team, just don't worry about me saying it. Look, it's your inspiration. I'll allow you to have it. We'll delete this episode. It's fine.
I don't want you to use anything against me.
There we go. Yeah, we need to come up with a snappy name for whatever the tag team game is going to be as well.
Super duper tag team special of Pixel Pop Stars.
Exactly. Super Pixel Pop Stars Turbo Championship Edition was a mouthful enough to say.
Yeah. Turbo Tag Team Edition.
Exactly.
I like the Street Fighter intro.
Thank you very much. When because I knew I wanted to name the finale something special kind of thing, and when I did the edit for Legally Distinct 90s game shows, where it was the Hadouken edit, and I used some Street Fighter music at the start of that, and I was like, that would be a really good idea for Pixel Pop Stars. And then I found that piece of music, and then I could see in my head like the kind of visual elements in terms of where the words would pop up and things like that, so it all just came together. So yeah, it was badass.
I love it when you find like the perfect piece of music for something. Like when I was making the crediting video last year, because obviously I talked a lot about Street Fighter and Yoko Shimomura, and like I was like, I can't use the actual music. I don't want to use the actual music because of the topic of the video. So I went on OC Remix and I found this like really good cover of Guile's theme.
Yes, goes with everything.
Well, yeah, I made that point in the video. So I was like, it's perfect. Like, it's a callback, and it's for the end credits. It's been stuck in my head ever since I put it in the video.
Yeah. Mitch Murdoch's got a fantastic arrangement of Gar's theme as well, and they put in samples of all the character in the audio box. So you've got Chun-Li going yatta and stuff like that. So
Nice.
yeah, that's always a fun listen.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no, Pixel Pop Stars. It was a lot of fun. Like as a person who was on it, it was a lot of fun. Like I knew no one who played it, but I kind of knew everyone who played it because I'd made your birthday video, and like they were all people I recognized, if not necessarily knew. But it was fun. Like
you'll never forget them now. You'll never forget Lucy.
I'll never forget. Well, yeah. I mean, if you remember when I won my episode, my first words were, "Oh God, now I've got to play against Lucy." But no, it was a lot of fun to play with all these people and to like, stir the pot a bit with Robin and Chaz and help birth the Ratatouille meme.
Indeed, yeah.
Well, solidify it. It was born in the first episode. And then solidified by me constantly bringing it up in the second episode.
Yeah, we got danger close to running into the ground, but then somehow you brought it back.
Well, you'll notice I didn't make one Ratatouille joke in the final. I do know when to leave something alone.
I know when to shut up.
No, it was a great creative process for me, and for those of you who've seen the show. So for each and every contestant, I write like a lovely intro for all of them, and obviously Amy got 2 of these intros because they made the final as well. And it's always nice to put some kind words together.
It was very unexpected and very long. Yeah, it was nice. And I just spent the entire time being like, no, praise Vitz. Don't praise me. I'm just a dumbass who's seen too much Star Trek. Look at them.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Well, that was fun. That was a fun chat that I'm really happy we had. Should we do the rest of the podcast now?
Yes.
Great.
Well, yeah, Captain.
Actually, no, we're not going to do the rest of it. I have to ask, where's Captain come from all of a sudden?
You're the leader of the podcast.
I mean,
the head
sure,
of the table.
But I have also been the head of the table for 443 episodes. Yes. And you've only really started calling me Captain in the last week.
I don't know, just do it.
Yeah.
Would you like 4 pips on your collar? Is that what we're saying?
I don't have a collar.
Do you want me to say Admiral instead?
No.
Fleet Admiral.
No.
Admiral Amy's got a nice ring to it.
Admiral, don't call me Admiral. Don't let them promote you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship.
All right. Okay. All right, Ensign. Is that better?
And the fact that I can bust out a random quote from a niche Star Trek movie on command like that and still didn't win proves it was a banger of an episode.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can start. Moody, you're up first.
All right, Lieutenant.
It's a different rank every time.
Pick a lane.
All right, Sergeant.
That's not even Star Trek.
Moody!
Stop it!
Hello, everybody. So, hey, Xbox apparently are going to announce a gaming handheld, presumably not really sure, who knows. But apparently, this is from Windows Central, written by Jez Corden. I want to shout him out for this or anything like that. So, earlier in the week, he exclusively revealed that Xbox's Project Kenan, I don't know, don't care. Revealed that earlier this week, detailing the first salvo of Microsoft's bold new hardware direction for the gaming platform. Apparently,
it's bold. It's so bold. Steam did it first.
And Switch. Kenan is apparently going to be an OEM-built PC gaming handheld at its core to a Asus ROG Ally or Levoy Legion Go. I have no idea what that means. And it's set to launch later this year, providing nothing goes awry. Microsoft are working closely with the OEMs on making Windows more friendly for the dedicated PC gaming device. Devices like this, with a large amount of effort being poured into the Xbox apps. The app, Xbox Services platform on Windows, and the Xbox Game Bar on Windows. To that end, that's that part. Don't need that part. Let's go into the next part. In the news, which may not shock you, it's Asus that have been tipped to build the Xbox's Project Canaan device. We can collaborate a report from The Verge's Tom Warrington that the Project Canaan is indeed from Asus and will essentially feel something similar to the Asus ORG Alionas with an Xbox-y twist. According to our trusted sources, Canaan will blend Asus stylizing with updated design conventions more typical of an Xbox-style device, with more prominent grips and a dedicated Xbox-guided style button. It's unclear whether Canaan will sit alongside the perspective of the Asus ROG Ally 2 as a separate SKU, or whether it is an essential essence of the ROG Ally 2 subsidized by Xbox. Excuse me.
So,
go on.
Yeah. So no, carry on.
No.
Sure, please.
Oh, thank you. I think don't need that part. For those who are hoping Canaan would play Xbox games, I'm sorry to report that that is tied to the true Windows PC, in essence meaning that you cannot bring most of your Xbox library to the device. Only games that fall under the Xbox Play Anywhere will work as a single purchase entity across Xbox One, Series S and X, and Canaan. Much like the Asus ROG Ally and that other one, Xbox Cloud Gaming will also extend some of the Xbox only games you could potentially play for device. There's one more part I want to get. Yeah, there it is. Take this section as with a huge grain of salt because the global economics landscape is very rapidly shifting. Thank you very much, America. The United States has that's funny, I didn't read that part. Initiated a trade war. Congratulations, America! Again, we're winning. You're just winning over there. As such, I don't think Asus or Microsoft has placed a hard price on Canaan just of yet, but I know the target price range. And it's actually not as bad as it's expected. I don't know about that. Our sources indicated that it won't be quite as cheap as the base model Steam Deck, but it won't be as expensive as the Legion Go RRP.
Lenovo.
The base model price range is somewhere apparently going to be between, I'm just rounding these up to $500 to $600 potentially. But like
totally reasonable.
Yeah, completely reasonable. But like I said, it's yeah. So that is it. So yes, we've all heard that Microsoft they've been saying it for a while. They want to get into the handheld part and everything. And what are your thoughts? Vitz, you wanted to say something during the article piece.
So
what do you want to jump in on first?
A lot of this has been. There was a fresh article that came out this morning, essentially saying, or reconfirming a lot of what was speculation in here, and there's a lot of it which is entirely speculation from here, but just in terms of there will be a standalone Asus branded or Asus manufactured Xbox branded system, and then to go alongside their next line of consoles in 2027, there'll be whatever, like a Series X2 or whatever that happens to be, and then alongside it there will be a new dedicated handheld as well, in addition to whatever this is. And from what we understand, that's going to be pitched as that generation's Series S. And there'll be a similar mandate to say, well, all your games are going to run on whatever gubbins are in this handheld thing, as well as scale up to what's on the X2 and on PC and all the rest of the platforms that your Xbox is going to be on as well. Yeah, so Xbox are no longer subsidizing other third-party manufacturers to make it on their behalf, so that's going to be a more expensive endeavor for the likes of an Asus, who, I understand have the kind of contract and the tender to build this. So, yeah, it seems that this device is, to my mind at least, is largely redundant when you have things like a Steam Deck, Now, I understand it's a more labor process to get Xbox games running on a Steam Deck, and to my mind, there's no reason why there isn't or why there couldn't be an Xbox app that just runs natively on Steam Deck as well. I appreciate like it's a Linux system versus whatever Windows wants to run and things like that, and there are desktop modes you can go into and then do it that way. But if Nvidia are bringing their GeForce Now tech and service to Steam Deck as well, there's no reason why Xbox can't do this either. And it's it doesn't seem like a device that people need, but I could be completely wrong in that sense in terms of it doesn't fit my use case, and I'm not in that imaginative state to say, well, if people are on the go and they want to play their Xbox, but then Phil Spencer's new vision is, well, your Xbox is everything. This is an Xbox for audio listeners holding up my phone. Yeah. And it's kind of, well, why do you need one of these? And I appreciate people like to have their phone as a separate device and things like that, but why do you need to spend $600-700 on whatever this is going to be when a Steam Deck, at least when it launched, at least costs the same and offers much more functionality? Now, I don't think it was listed in this particular article, but it's not confirmed whether this Xbox device is going to launch multiple or have multiple storefronts on it as well. So whether be able to run Steam on there, whether it will be able to run Epic Game Store, whatever, or whatever you be using, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a whole lot of, okay, cool story, bro, but who is this for?
It's going to be interesting, no doubt. Amy, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. It's a hard one because, like, I feel like we talked about Xbox handhelds a little while ago. And like nothing in this article has like changed my position that like what Vitz just said, like, bro, I already have an Xbox handheld. Like it's my phone. Like that's true. If I want to play my Xbox games on the go, like I'll just play my phone. As far as the Play Anywhere part, where it's like, well, you'll only be able to access your Play Anywhere games, right? As somebody who sold their Xbox last year and had like a decent library on Xbox, like Series S, digitally, and then like installed the PC app. And like the PC app handily gives me my library of all the games I own on Xbox Series S and Xbox One, I guess, that are Play Anywhere, that I could just play on my PC because I already bought them. It's tiny. It's like a small fraction of all of the games I owned on my Xbox that I can still play on my PC. So like if you're saying like, oh, do you want to play these 14 games on the go for $600? Like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good, thank you. Like, I don't want that. And yeah, no, like, you get Game Pass for it. Like, the whole point is you'll get your Game Pass games on there. But it's like, man, I don't want to think about how to try and run Doom: The Dark Ages on an Xbox handheld device, Switch-like device, I guess. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm not a handheld person anyway, so like, I always feel weird like talking about handhelds.
Yeah.
It strikes me as like the same thing with Vitz, where it's like, who's this for exactly? Because like I can get Xbox games running on a Steam Deck. You're telling me the Steam Deck's going to be cheaper than this?
Yeah.
According to the speculation, like a lot of this article is speculation. It was the first thing that jumped out at me when I read it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I believe and I argue and there's a good chance that, but yeah, I noticed you read around all of that, which was cool. Like you just read the fact. I was like, all right, cool. The alleged fact. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Like, why would I not just get a Steam Deck if I wanted this?
Also, like at this alleged price point, what's it bringing to the table in terms of, is it going to come with an OLED screen? Is it going to be a fundamentally better display than like a Steam Deck has at the moment? It might have a nicer form factor, and that might be a lot for people in terms of how it feels in the hand, because I know there are some complaints with the Steam Deck that the controls on the very extremities of the device and it's not necessarily that comfortable. So maybe there's ergonomic reasons why you would opt to get one of these.
Ergonomic design is an important part of any game controller. Like I picked up a PS3 controller for the first time in like 15 years today, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah. I
remember why I didn't like this.
2006.
I remember why I didn't like this.
Now get the sense, and you'll be like, "Oh, this feels much better."
It's like, no, this bit's too high, and these are too close together. It's like, So like I get it. Like if the Xbox handheld is a really good design and it feels really comfortable to use, that is a plus point. Like I remember from our previous conversations about Xbox handhelds, is that the smartest thing for Microsoft to do would be to do it the way they do laptops and computers. It's like get somebody else to make it.
Yes.
And if that's what they're doing, that's great. It proves that I'm very smart. And they're doing what I think is the right thing. Like, I don't like the idea of this being like the entry-level console for the next generation. I think that's fucking bananas if that's true. Like, so the entry-level console is going to be a $500 handheld.
Yeah, it'll come with the dock with HDMI out and all the rest.
That's a little bit different from a $249 console. Interesting move.
We haven't factored in the tariffs that's going to apply to this device, at least in their domestic markets anyway. So that's
sure,
going to be.
But I live in the EU. I don't have to worry about that. I live in Europe, not in the EU. Sorry, I live in Europe. I don't have to worry about that. Like, we'll probably start.
We're not even European. We're UK.
I am now, was, and forever will be European. Thank you very much. But like, it makes me question. It's the same question I had when the PS5 Pro came out, which is, okay, Jez, if that is your real name, if this is the entry level and it's this much money, how much is the console going to cost?
£700. It's going to be the PS4 Pro.
You couldn't even convince me to keep a hold of the £200 box Xbox.
Yeah.
Why would I spend that much?
The thing for me, like, what I'll
on my PC, on my PlayStation.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. For me, it's like I'm also going to bring in the little attention that I've seen also going around that I think I also saw in Kind of Funny's Game Daily today. Apparently, the next generation console is going to be in 2027. Yes. Obviously, and everything like that. And obviously, then obviously they're going to bring their own handheld to it as well. So it's like, for me, I'm just like, so you're going to, within a year and a half, if this one does come out this year, you're going to make this one basically obsolete within 2 years. And I know they'll probably just say, well, it's going to be cheaper now for everybody, so blah, 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 and everything. But I stand by, for what I've been saying for a while now for Xbox, get out of the fucking hardware business altogether. Nobody cares about your hardware. They've been proven for the last all the generations. You're the first Xbox that can get loud. The first one was like, they came out against the PS2 and the Wii U, which not the Wii U, the Cube,
GameCube.
which just destroyed it,
and the Dreamcast.
Then they got themselves ahead in the 360 era and started really well, but by the end was destroyed by the Wii and still beaten by the PS3, which had a really bad whole generation, was disrupted by network outage and just how the terrible price pointing and everything for that game and everything by the end of it. And yes, like I go back to the thing where what Phil said on Kind of Funny's Gamescast last year. They lost, like he is right, they lost the worst generation to lose, and that was the last generation. They got destroyed by it. And now they're in a part where they're just like, and they've never revealed what their numbers were for Xbox One sales, and then they haven't revealed their Series S or X sales. All we know is that the S is outselling the X, because obviously it's a cheaper console. Everyone's going to go for the cheaper one and everything. And now they want to try and throw out a new handheld. Yes, even if it's with a different maker whatsoever, they want to throw one out that's going to go up against the Switch 2, which we all know is coming this year. And going off from the price point, what we kind of think, what this article is saying, the Switch 2 is going to be cheaper, I think, by a country mile. And I think everyone's just going to go to the Switch 2. Again, Xbox makes hardware that nobody gives a fuck about. Their mobiles die faster than anything I've ever seen, basically. Maybe the BlackBerry. The only thing I think faster that died was the BlackBerry. But either way, they still died.
BlackBerries hung around because they were the business phone. They hung around for years because they were the business phone. Windows phones were.
And then their messenger service started riots as well. That
happened. Yeah. Their Windows. I had a Windows phone. It was awful. It was the worst 2 years of my life. I couldn't wait to get out of that.
I had one through work. That was it ran like a version of Windows 7 on it. It was awful.
It's the infinite scroll like home screen thing. It was like,
Yeah,
on the Switch 2 comparison bit, just to add, there's a reason people go and will shell out for a Nintendo system, whatever the price is, for the exclusive Nintendo games.
Yeah.
To quote,
what is Xbox bringing to the table that you can't get in a zillion other places now?
To quote Nakey Jakey from that one Microsoft video, it's like we play the Switch because of the things we can do on the television with our hands. It's like we'll buy a Switch because we want to play the games on the Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I couldn't run Indiana Jones, despite the fact that it sounds like a really cool game, like on my PC, I shrugged my shoulders and went, I guess I'll just get it on PlayStation when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You've shot both feet off at this point, Mark. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not necessarily saying exit the hardware business, but like, you've shot both of your feet off at this point. And you've got the gun pressed up against the bottom of your chin, metaphorically speaking. You've got the gun pressed up.
We are waiting for Sarah Bond to have several amounts of very expensive eggs at this point on her face when the biggest generational leap you've ever seen doesn't happen in 2027.
It's going to be the same leap with what the PS5 Pro said it was going to be.
Probably. It's diminishing returns. It's that we're in the curve of the graph at this point.
Yeah, Microsoft for me. Go on, Amy. Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go on. I insist.
Sure?
Yeah, I insist.
Okay, Microsoft for me, like I said, like they need to get. For me, I get where you come from. Like, they should stay in the hardware part and everything like that. But for me, they clearly saying they're not. They don't really want to. Their focus is because of all the money they've spent and everything like that, which is now coming back, which has just cruelly bit them right in the ass. Buying Bethesda, buying Activision is just completely bit them, their Xbox itself, in the ass. The earlier ones made sense to a certain point because they did need studios, and they're hopefully now going to start coming good with some of the games that are coming out now, which is fantastic and everything. But Bethesda and Activision have completely just screwed them, especially with how much money they spent combined. I think they're like almost like 80 billion, pretty much. And overall, Microsoft does want to see a return for that, and like obviously that's why the Microsoft CEO is basically the one holding that theoretical gun to Phil Spencer's chin, Amy, basically, for me. And for me, they just yes, fine. Stick with your Windows thing. That's what you want to do. That's fine. But create an app that will work on the Steam Deck.
Yes.
It'll be probably. I don't know this. I'm just speaking out my ass, but I'm theoretically guessing it'll be long term more cheaper to do this than create a hardware that not enough will buy for me to deserve that will bring back enough return for them.
Yeah, to justify the R&D costs.
Yeah,
because there's an easy way. There's an easy way for them to sell consoles. Like, and I say easy relatively. Obviously, nothing about making anything in games is easy. It's relatively easy, but it's pretty simple. Build a box, get your studios to make games that play on the box, and only that box. And then people who want to play those games will buy that box.
Yes. Give
Like,
people a compelling reason to get the box.
It would be a very compelling reason to get the box if people couldn't play the thing on the other box that they already have. And has other things that you can only get on that other box. Like, this is how Xbox came from nowhere to actually establish itself as a console manufacturer. They had Halo. That was all they needed on the original Xbox. And it worked. They beat GameCube. They beat Dreamcast.
Yeah. But the thing is about it, Halo, I'm going to throw in Halo, Gears, and Forza for that. I think now are now becoming a dying breed for them.
Yeah.
Where they've held on to them so much that they are just dubbed as the Halo Gears Forza company. That Forza's been incredibly successful for them. Apparently it's going off from like pre-order sales and everything. It's going to be an incredible success on PlayStation for them when it goes out for them in April. I think it's been confirmed that it's coming out in April.
From what I've heard from Vitz, Gran Turismo 7 is one of the worst travesties ever created in video games. So Forza Horizon 5 should sell like fucking gangbusters.
So the last Gran Turismo sold very well as well. So
there is a bit of
PlayStation is crying out for a driving game that doesn't suck complete balls, according to what I've heard from my source.
You need to make an Xbox account in order to play Forza on your PlayStation, but it's true of if you were to play Minecraft on PlayStation, you have to make an Xbox account, which isn't a big, deal. But yeah.
I never understood the kickoff about that. Like, yeah, whatever, cool and stuff. Like, and I get it when, like, with Helldivers 2.
The PlayStation 1 on PC was egregious.
For the countries where it's like, well, I can't make one. Like can I not play a game? Understand that completely. But if you live in, like, the United States or, like, Germany, it's like, takes, like, 5 seconds and you never have to think about it again. Like, I don't see the problem.
It'd be nice if cross-progression and cross-play worked. But yeah, we'll come to that when it comes to that. Let me get my English out here and my QA test to start off on here as well. That's if they've decided to do the certification testing through PlayStation for that, because PlayStation have a separate certification testing for that alone. And if they don't do that, then they won't do it.
They got to protect the kids. That's what Sean Layden said. But to get back to your thing about like Forza, Gears, and Halo, and I tried to like smush those into like one like word, but I couldn't think of one. Like, yeah, sure. Like, they over-relied on Forza, Gears, and Halo, and all of those, except arguably Forza Horizon. Like, all of those, like, franchises, like, diminished as time went on.
Yeah.
That's why you make new stuff. That's why Insomniac doesn't still make Resistance, Fall of Man, and that's why Naughty Dog still doesn't make Jak and Daxter. Yeah, that's why Naughty Dog still doesn't make Jak and Daxter. You make new stuff that people want to play on the box. Like, again, I'm not saying making games and consoles is easy, but
yes, it definitely isn't.
The strategy is pretty fucking simple. If you're a console manufacturer and you want to sell consoles, make things that will sell the consoles, i.e. games.
The thing is, for me, I think like Nintendo, they make games that are very Nintendo. There's no doubt about that. And PlayStation, like the thing for Xbox, like I'm trying to get there, is that they need to find their thing to get people there to buy that Xbox. We go to PlayStation for the quote unquote story-based games that they put out, which have been incredibly successful with. That's facts on that we all know that they've been incredibly successful. Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Santa Monica, and so on. Yes, they've had some failures as well, there's no doubt, but so has Nintendo for that. But when it comes to their main franchises, they've hit it out of the park for the most part overall, universally for the audience. Xbox don't have any of that. They're so widespread that they need to focus in. They need to look more in and find their niche thing. And I thought they had that in 360 for a while. A lot of it was very shooter type of games, which is fine as long as it comes along with a great like multiplayer for a lot of people, and so I would say for me a great story and everything like that. But if it didn't, and they were just going with great gameplay and great multiplayer, they can sell that really easily. But they're going so far out there where like a lot of the games that they released last year are now basically an afterthought. And a lot of the games they've thrown out a lot of games this year, which I think they're all going to crush each other. Like, I know they got South of Midnight coming out soon. I think that's going to die basically to their next game what comes out, and it's just like, I don't know if they're throwing too much out all at the same time. And it's all so different, and I don't know if it's very focused.
But also, all their games are getting devalued, in my personal opinion, by Game Pass.
Because yeah.
Well, funny story. I resubscribed to Game Pass 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Because there's this big run of Xbox games coming out, and I looked at like all of them, like for the next several months, that were all coming out on Game Pass, and I thought, am I an idiot for thinking about spending like £200-300 on all these games when I can just subscribe to Game Pass for like 6 months and play Avowed and the other games that I want to play? Like, because I started playing Avowed over the weekend.
It's the best thing in gaming, but there's no way near sustainable.
But yeah, it's like, but I'm not supporting Obsidian Entertainment by giving them like the whatever it is, £40-50 to play Avowed. But at the same time, it's like, when I'm done with that, I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves with Ryan. I'm gonna download Blueprints, which I think is coming to Game Pass. You know, I'm gonna then like in May, I'm gonna download Doom, and it's just like Claire Obscura. I'm gonna download that, especially after seeing my friend's preview, Luna Mothwings, on YouTube and Twitch.
Great preview, by the way. It was very
phenomenal preview. And like, that's bad. Like, at the same time as it's good for me, because it's going to cost me like 30 quid, 40 quid to play all of these games. That's not good for games, like, at all.
For their games, at least, yeah. That's the thing about it. Like, they need to go to, like, I think what PlayStation have got kind of right on it with, like, because they've obviously got their subscription service out there, but none of their new games go out on it straight away. They ain't on it for at least a year, I think, and whatnot, depending, I think, on how it goes for them and everything. But, like, they need to switch to an a la carte system, basically. The best thing for them, for me personally, is, like, get the games out on to buy first and then put them on their Game Pass thing, say 6 months or a year later or something. Like, give people a reason to buy your box. You ain't giving them a reason to buy your box. And as you have took...
right. You're 100% right in what you're saying, but the genie's out the bottle on that one. Once you've established that, you can't take that away from them.
I mean, even just the change in tiers was like...
That's they fucked themselves up even more because of their like early access thing and everything, what they've been doing. Buy the special edition for 100 quid to get early access.
I looked at that. This was Steph Sterling's video this week. I looked at because at the weekend when I downloaded Avowed, I saw the deluxe digital edition or whatever, and I thought, oh, let me see what's in this. Like, because it was £20, because I'm a Game Pass subscriber, I only need to buy the upgrade, not the full game. And I thought, let me see what's in this. And it's like,
nothing.
Early access to the game. I'm like, game's out, bro. Why would I buy this? Why would anybody buy this? Like, oh, you can get the soundtrack. It's like, yeah, I've got YouTube. I can get the soundtrack anyway. What the fuck are you doing?
It's really, really bad, yeah.
If the market is not expanding with new gamers coming to the industry, then you have to squeeze more money out of the people who are already there.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, yeah, I have noticed this, like, devaluation of digital deluxe editions where it's just like, there's nothing in them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, Vitz, you're completely right. The genie's completely out the bottle because they already said when they announced Game Pass, our games are going straight into Game Pass. You just have to pay for Game Pass type of thing and get them right there straight away and whatnot. And even that's kind of a lie now because of their special edition thing, like what we just talked about, the early access thing. So it's like, no. You're breaking your rules here. You're breaking your own rules that you said. You're twisting it, and it's all over the place. Xbox for me just showing it's still all over the place. Yes, they're probably going to be overall financially successful because they're putting their games everywhere and everything, because everyone wants to just play great games. Like, I won't gatekeep this or anything like that. I think games should be there for everybody and everything. But Microsoft, if you wanted your console to be successful, focus on the console properly, and you're not. That's why I say, for me, get rid of your hardware altogether and just get your games on everything as you can. If you can negotiate with PlayStation and Nintendo to create an app to get them on their consoles and everything like that, that's even better. That's more money for you, and that's all. It's all at the end of the day, it's all you want. Microsoft is money, which is fine. I get you just you want to recoup your money.
It's the line must never infinitely go up part that we have a problem with.
Yeah, because don't screw the people.
Because now it's like, well, we're selling our games on PlayStation and PC, and like, we know why. The next quarter's earnings have to look better. And it's like, that's cool, but like in a year, when you've been doing this for a year,
other industry to sell them on to,
and there's no other platform to sell them on, what are you going to do then? Well, don't worry, people will buy our handheld. Will they though? Like, they're digging, it's the Simpsons bit, you know, where they're all digging the hole, and then Homer's like, no, dig up, you fool. Like,
yeah, dig up, stupid.
Like, dig up, stupid. I don't know I don't know how they're going to dig up. I don't think it matters in the grand scheme of things outside of job losses, which obviously is a big deal. Like, I think Xbox is still going to keep trucking, making games, making hardware, doing ridiculous things. Like, every time they release a game like Avowed that comes out and is like, oh, this is actually pretty good, people are talking about it. You know, you get Phil Spencer coming out less than a week, within less than 7 days, to say something ridiculous so that people stop talking about the success that you've just had. Like, you know, like, they don't know how to market anything. Like, nothing is fundamentally going to change about Xbox.
Yeah, agreed.
In the near term, but like, they're making so many moves to appease the short term that eventually the tracks that they're laying down are going to run out, and I'm worried about what happens when there's no more moves that they can do to shore up the short term. They're going to derail themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like for me, I've had interest in what you're doing right now. Like I'm playing you like to play Avowed or try out South of Midnight right now, but I just can't get myself to buy it right now, to get a Game Pass or anything like on my PC and whatnot. I'm just like, I'll just wait until they come to PlayStation and I'll rent them.
There is that psychological effect, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we were Game Pass subscribers, like continuous Game Pass subscribers, 4 years, right? And like, I'd unsubscribed last year for a variety of reasons, and the second there was a running games that were coming out and they were coming on Game Pass, I just went, I'll subscribe. Why would I spend hundreds of pounds when I can spend like 30, 40 quid? You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, it really has like busted my brain like really badly. Like I mentioned Blueprints in there, and it's like, no, like even as I was saying it out loud 10 minutes ago, I was like, no, I'm going to buy that game. Like, why wouldn't I support that game? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Amy? It's the most excited I've been for a game in years.
Helen just gives you the Paddington stare.
Yeah.
Talking about Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass. Like,
Exactly.
no, I'm gonna buy it. But like, it is an interesting thought of like, my brain is broken. Like, Game Pass has broken it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Like we've gone on a way right on tangent just bringing up Game Pass and saying.
I knew we were going to get
like
Game Pass eventually.
Yeah,
we always
do.
do.
But yeah, for me, I think like what we were saying, like you two were saying earlier, I don't know who this is for, this handheld or anything like that. Like for me, they're killing their own market. When it's within 2 years, when they release their own version of it with the new hardware, which will just go out and die. And for me, and yeah, it's a shame, but at the end of the day, Xbox is just they're trying to eat their cake. They're trying to make a cake and eat it at the same time. Have their cake and eat it at the same time. Should I say that's
no? I actually like that first one better. They're trying to make a cake and eat it while they're making it.
Yeah, okay.
That's what they're trying to. No, you know what? That metaphor works better.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, because they're trying to do everything instead of just focusing on one thing. That's why I'm saying just create it and get out of the hardware altogether and focus on your app for Game Pass to put that everywhere as you can get it out if the places will allow it. And then focus on your games, and that's all you need to do. And I think you'll be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, until this AI bubble bursts, which is a nice, not segue, foreshadowing. That's the word I was looking for the second half of the podcast. But before we get there, I think we should do a little indie game of the week. Yeah. I picked this one out for you, Vitz. It's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think looks cool and we think you should wish list. I don't know if Vitz thinks it looks cool, but I think it looks cool.
No.
If you like indie games, scroll down wherever you're choosing to listen to or watch this podcast. In the description, you'll find a link to our Steam Curator page, which is updated with all of our indie games of the week from the past, which includes more than 100 games at this point, and there's a Steam sale on right now. So, you have a look on that list, you might find some banging indie games, and you might find them at a very good price. But for now, this week's indie game of the week is called Eyes Never Wake. This is a horror game where the monster can see you through your webcam. Physically duck beneath your real-life desk to hide during intense stealth and chase sequences. Don't let it catch even a glimpse of your face. Check out these bullet points. Webcam-based interactions. Hide from the monster by physically moving in real life. Microphone interaction. Stay quiet or it will hear you. Fourth wall breaking horror. Expect the unexpected. Intense stealth and chase sequences. Survive against the AI-driven, not that kind of AI, entity hunting you. Exploration and discovery. Carefully explore this strange game and uncover its mystery. How are you feeling, Vitz?
Now, Alan Headland, I'm sure you're amazing. Congratulations on this game. But also, fuck you. No, not doing this.
Oh, you don't want to play a horror game where the monster can see you in real life?
No, I don't be ducking behind underneath my desk. I know I'm going to bunk my head like every time I try to pick back up again.
Hey, at least your webcam's like right in front of you. Look at all the space. I'm gonna have to throw myself on the ground. Sounds like a fun stream though.
It does sound like a fun stream, and it is a novel idea. But no. This is not for me.
You can hang out and watch while I do it. How's that sound?
There you go.
I'll take the bullet because I really like horror games. But yeah, no, Eyes Never Wake. Great game for horror enthusiasts. Look out for it. It's gonna be one of those YouTube and Twitch sensations. I can see it now. It's gonna be everywhere for like a week when it comes out.
Put some tape over your webcam.
And like mute your microphone and
Yes.
just put a mirror and play the game from under your desk. Eh?
There you go.
There's an easy mode for you. Cool. So should we do a little halftime break? Go wishlist the game on Steam. Let's do a little halftime break.
All right.
One last ad for Pixel Pop Stars Season 1.
That's it.
Enjoy.
What's good, everyone? My name's Vitz, and I've been working on something special.
It's time for Pixel Pop Stars, the all-new game show on Twitch. Let these nice moments be on with your specialist subject.
Watch new episodes live on twitch.tv/VitzPatel.
And we're back, unfortunately. How's everybody doing? Have a nice little stretch break. Hydrate a bit.
Hope you hydrated, got up, stretched it out.
Buckle up, fuckers. Because
Yeah.
if you haven't already looked at the timeline with the names of the next couple of chapters, you don't know. Vitz?
Yeah, dear friends, Sony is doing something stupid again. So this is from a write-up over Eurogamer. The new leakers reveal PlayStation maker Sony is working on AI-driven characters, including Aloy from the Horizon series, which seemed like a somewhat ironic choice, given this is a character growing up in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by rogue AI-controlled machines.
Bit on the nose.
Yeah, so the director of software engineering at Sony Interactive Entertainment, Sharwin Ranko Bardajal, they have essentially have this spin-off group called PlayStation Studios Advanced Technology Group, and they have made a working prototype of essentially a ChatGPT merged with Aloy, and it's horrific. And while they haven't officially shown this video to anybody, it leaked because of course it's the internet, and I happened to see it this week, and it is all different kinds of horrifying. And the article goes into the kind of user just having a quote unquote normal conversation with her. So they're asking Aloy how she is. She complains of having a sore throat.
I've got a sore throat right now. Riveting stuff.
Yeah,
I can't believe you
exactly.
didn't put this in Horizon Forbidden West.
And and the mouth movements, the actual facial animation looks completely. Sorry, I just put a picture of Milo into the dock and it threw me. The facial animations look so rough and so bad, and it's kind of the actual functionality of this serves no purpose. I don't know what's the actual point of this. Like, whether the goal is to have every NPC you come across have this narrative thread that they know everything your character's done in the game, they can comment on that, but we can have that anyway. You don't need generative AI to do this. And my whole thing is, what does Ashley Birch think about this? How horrified is she right now in terms of Aloy? For sure, it's owned by Gorilla and Sony and whatnot have you, but that is her character, that is her likeness, that is her voice that you scraped, and you are now using this crappy Gen AI model to kind of spit out.
The reason it's an internal video and it was never meant for publication is obviously because there's a big strike going on right now with the Voice Actors Guild over this exact issue. Which is why, like, Sony didn't release this as a video and be like, hey, look what we can do.
Speaking of that, congratulations to a bunch of voice actors and prominent motion capture artists. They came together, spearheaded by Neil Newbon, and they have come together under the flag of like Pixel Pals, Pixel Flag, something like that. And their whole thing is to uplift the prominence of voice actors, not only in the industry itself, to say, video game acting is a true art, but also to work alongside the unions to protect themselves from AI and their use case going forward. So just wanted to give a shout out to those. There is a rather beautiful photo shoot that's happened, and it took place over 3 different locations. And to kind of superimpose all the different members on one shot, and it's all the faces you know and love from the world of video games, and it's super amazing to see that. And
Sam Lake there, Maggie Robertson, like fucking
Erika Ishii, and all different kinds of badass. This thing is absolutely horrifying, and I don't see what the use case is other than it. Amy,
I remember Nvidia did this, or it might have been Ubisoft, or both. There was a demo, I think it's CES, where it was like, hey, talk to an NPC in a bar. And so the idea behind it, and again, these aren't my words. I'm not saying this. I'm regurgitating what the idea behind this is, according to some fucking nut job at Ubisoft and or Nvidia. The idea is they want to create more immersive games by allowing you to have like full conversations with like anyone in a game world, like an NPC in a game world, where it's like you can talk to them like about things that have happened in the game, or like just like the weather, or whether they've got a sore throat, I guess, like quoting this thing. Like that's the pitch, as it were, about this is what they say they want this technology to do. It's like you can have instead of having pre-scripted dialogue with an NPC, you can have a conversation with them, which will make the game more immersive. And for audio listeners, I'm using a lot of air quotes here.
Yes. Okay, but also I would much rather all the money they use to invest in this goes towards shoring up your own studio, so you don't have to lay off everybody, and even just that money going to devs and giving to their salaries, because we know that you're going to fuck them over at some point because you're going to do some dumbass shit like this. And it comes back to the same point we've been banging on about AI and generative AI. It cannot create, it can only copy. And for that, it serves no purpose in art, and video games are art. To me, and you may have a different opinion on this, listener, and that's all well and
good. I used to think that, and I'm not so fucking sure anymore.
But this is like Peter Molyneux's Milo, or
and it was the first thing I thought of. I'm sorry for live editing the document while you were talking, but
no, it's all good. So perennial liar, Peter Molyneux first came out with Milo back on the Xbox 360 Connect days, and was like, "Oh, there's this boy, and you can have a conversation with him."
I was watching that E3.
He lives in your TV.
It was an incredible moment. Yeah. Why do I have a boy? Why do I have a child trapped in my television, Pierre?
Yes.
Why is it a child, Pierre?
Yeah, I guess the one saving grace is at least Aloy's character, quote unquote, is over the age of 21. So we understand. I know that people are going to do terrible things with this.
Like, it's stupid. The video's bad. Like,
yes.
Anything I've ever seen regarding like this kind of generative AI technology, it just looks terrible. But like that distracts from a very core point that I have, and I'm going to keep it centered around this one thing where it's like, hey, we can make NPCs you can have a conversation with, right? It's like, cool. Let's set aside the fact that the voice is bad, the dialogue's bad, everything about it is bad. Let's say they get it working, and it's like, so you can play a video game, and you can have conversations with all the characters, not the scripted written conversations of, say, I don't know, Mass Effect, but like you can just talk to whoever you want. Why?
Yes.
Why do I want to do that?
Detract from any pacing that you have,
like
any narrative structure that you have going on.
Like, I played Mass Effect 1, and I was getting impatient with some of the dialogue in that game. It's like, you're talking too much. Like, and you're saying things, and like, you could be saying them quicker. Like, why would I? Like, if I was playing Mass Effect, and I was talking to Tali about the history of the Quarian race, why would I want to start fucking winging it? She already and Tali, I love you. You're one of my favorite characters. You already talk too much in Mass Effect 1.
Back.
Never. But even going further than that. Even going further than that. That's not how stories work, jackasses. Stories are authored.
Yes.
People write words on a page on purpose to evoke emotions. What kind of emotion was I supposed to be evoked by having a conversation with Aloy and talking about how she's got a sore throat?
There isn't one. There's no point in any of this, and it's not like we as people go out to random strangers and have full conversations with those on the streets. Unless you do, dear listener, and if you do, more power to you, and I hope you stay safe.
Like, I don't want to talk to my video games. I'm just going to state that right now, because this whole thing is like predicated on me speaking words of my actual mouth. And like, it's a problem I run into in role-playing games, like D&D and like all the other tabletop role-playing games. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say here. Like, I'm playing Mass Effect. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to actually say. That's why there's dialogue options. I'm role-playing a character that actually exists in the world of Mass Effect. If you put the onus on me to know what the fuck I'm supposed to say, we're going to get nowhere.
Yeah.
But like, I'm also not being told a story, and I'm just going to bail. I'm just going to stop playing the game because I'm going to get bored really fast.
Unless you are a highly trained voice actor who is amazing at improv. Every single conversation with any other of these NPCs are going to start with the word and then long pause while you figure out what the heck you're going to say.
And then, like,
so in any semblance of having a natural conversation just isn't going to happen.
Yeah, because the AI is going to immediately forget the thing that it just said.
Yes.
So like, there's going to be no consistency between like the conversation you're even having. And then like, imagine playing like a Dark Souls type game, you know, a lore heavy game where it's like the lore is the story, and like the character in your Dark Souls is going to say something completely different to the character in my Dark Souls, and I've seen AI enthusiasts talk about how great that is. Well, we're all going to get our own personalized experiences, and it's like, motherfucker, have you seen how much we already argue about Dark Souls? Now
see, like,
we're not going to have any information. Like, it's like, well, my character said this.
Away on his hammer, turns to you and says, "So how much glue do you want on your pizza?"
Yeah. It's like, bruh, like that's why I made the joke before. It's like, well, video games are art. And it's like, I used to think they were. This is not. And if this is the way video games are going, they're not. That's not art.
Also, all this tech, how much of the planet's resources are you making just to cool the servers in order to run this tech? How many lakes are you drying up out here to make this work?
I try to have I try to have a plot relevant conversation with one NPC, and my fucking PlayStation catches fire.
That's it.
Blows out the electricity in my entire town.
Just stop. Apparently, we have supposedly competent people at the head of PlayStation now. Ain't no Jim Ryan stuff. If this is a Jim Ryan thing, then knock that shit off. Go back to doing what you're doing great at. Take all this money, give it back to the developers. Hell, make the severance packages you gave to all the people you laid off a little bit better. Give them that money.
If you want, like, I mean, I know the idea is like if they make this, then they don't have to pay writers and pay actors to like do things. They can just make the computer do it for them. But like, I'd much rather you just paid the writers and the actors.
Exactly.
The thing is, when it comes to this and everything like that, I just go, what were we all expecting? Every tech company out there has been creating an AI to like for us to speak to for the last years now, for the last decade, if not more. Like I've got like an Amazon thing where I can literally go to say, "Hey, Amazon, play this. Hey, Amazon, pause this," or anything like that. And this was always the end goal, especially into video games and or just heck in entertainment in general. I'm not saying this is great or anything like that. It's terrifying. Like for all I know, they'll eventually then try and do it for my job and everything in QA for just allowing typing in AI, and everything. So it is a terrifying thing and a worrying thing. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, the thing that is just annoying for me is just like we've all seen this coming. We have, for like of just all the states, all the stuff I've just been saying. It is terrible. I've seen that video. It is egregious to the highest of fucking degrees. There's no doubt about it. I don't know what laws there is or anything when it comes to like using Aloy, and obviously with the actress who played her and voiced her and everything like that. I don't know what laws there is. I don't know what she has signed. For all we know, she has signed it and she's okay with this. I don't know. I don't even know if she's come out or even said anything or whatnot for this. Her silence for me is maybe a little bit just like kind of a little sane to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not for that, but
she might be NDA'd at the wazoo. We don't know.
Yeah, is that as
given,
well?
Given that there's an ongoing labor dispute, I'd imagine that probably plays a part in not saying anything.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But yeah, it's egregious. It's terrifying. It's vile. But
it's not how you create stories.
It's coming. We know it is.
Like. So. It's going to explode, and it's going to take half the fucking industry with it at this point.
Well, we've been saying, you and me, Amy, that is the industry on a tipping point to die again.
It's not going anywhere.
This might be the thing.
We need to burn it all down and build from scratch.
Maybe, at this point. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what the solutions are. I'm not a game dev or I'm just a amateur video game scientist. Like, I don't fucking know shit. But like...
But even that,
people aren't going to want these
common
games.
Sense than the people running these companies.
Because people aren't going to want. I can tell you, people aren't going to want to play these games. Like people, like you want to have.
People will not care. People won't care. The majority. Sorry for running there.
You reckon people won't care? Like people hit mash skip on the fucking dialogue anyway. You think people want to have longer conversations with NPCs? Of course they don't.
I think we were thinking of the same different thing here. I was meaning just of games getting created by AI and everything like that.
Oh no,
stories
like people
getting written by that. That I think people won't give a flying hoot about for the majority.
In terms
when
of
it comes to this thing, what you were saying there.
In terms of like the actual act of the thing being done, like no people. To the by and large degree, aren't going to give a shit who writes their games. It's the end product that I think people are going to want. Like they're gonna go, oh, AI's making it. Whatever, I don't care. I already use ChatGPT to think for me because I don't know how to use critical thinking skills. Yeah, but then they're going to play the game.
My school paper. That's it.
But then they're going to play the game. It's going to suck, and they're going to go, oh fuck, that was terrible. Well, I'm not going to play any more of these Horizon games because I've just played one that was god awful. That's the part where I'm like, people aren't going to want these games. Sorry.
I think we're all on the same page here. Sony, stop doing the stupid things. I want to say you're better than this, but your current track record, I don't know.
Companies aren't better than this.
No company
it's just
is
tech
better
companies
than this.
in general. Yeah, no one is better in this. Especially, I don't mean this in a bad way towards them because like I want to go to Japan and everything, and I love everything what I've been seeing. But I've been like, there's videos out there of like people who've gone there, like of a family who went to a restaurant, and they're getting served by robots. Who are getting controlled by people who are like disabled and everything at home and everything, so they can have jobs and everything. But they're getting controlled by like robots and who have AI voices and everything like that. Japan or a Japanese studio are all in on this, and it's not surprising that Sony is going for this and everything. And when it comes,
go on. No.
That's why like all over tech companies are all jumping in on this as well and everything. But like Yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrifying thing. But yeah, it's like for me, Sony are all in on this because Japan is already all in on this.
There's a gigantic difference. I got to get my point in.
Yeah, go for it.
In the example you just made about the restaurant.
I know
robots
that.
and
I
stuff.
do know
Like,
that.
There's
I
people
know.
like controlling the robots. That's cool.
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah,
That
I agree.
sounds fucking
I
great.
said it yesterday.
Yeah.
I said it to my partner yesterday. I was saying that's awesome because they're helping people who are disabled who don't want to be a burden and still want to earn money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like have a life and everything. I said that to my partner yesterday when I was watching the video with her and everything. But like no, but like yeah, like I was saying, like Japan like are all in it, and so Sony as being a Japanese studio is going to be all in it as well. I don't agree with it for how they want to use it. I think it's terrifying. But yeah.
Just to button this topic up before we move on, there was a very interesting post from the one and only Alana Pierce over on Bluesky, and they were a former writer over at Santa Monica Studio, and
I saw this.
when this story came about, she posted this to say that she was given the impression by the leadership at Sony that they would actually not be investigated or going down this path, and obviously now that situation has changed. So I just thought that was very interesting.
Did Sony acquire new leadership at some point, like PlayStation Studios, in the past few months? Maybe. Huh, it's interesting. I wonder if there's a correlation between those two completely separate facts.
Speaking of AI,
oh no, I was going to do a bit. I was going to be like, well, we're all done with the AI part of the podcast.
Can I just quickly jump in about the Alana Pierce one? It's like she puts LOL at the end there. I don't know if she was being sarcastic or not when it comes to it.
I think
to the context for that. I know she used to work for Sony in Santa Monica and everything. I know that.
Knowing Alana Pierce's sense of humor is quite close to my own. The LOL was probably more just like, ha 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 ha, we're all gonna die.
Exactly. That was a painful laugh.
Yeah, like.
But no, I don't want to. I also apologize. I want to apologize. Like I don't want to be speaking for Alana as either there. So that's. I'm only reading like obviously reading something that could go in any different direction for how when it comes to sarcasm.
No, like if she said that, it's probably true. Like. I wouldn't have seen PlayStation doing this like a few months ago, even a few months ago. Like Microsoft, I get it, like because like Xbox is part of a bigger Microsoft thing, and like they have a whole like Copilot fucking division and whatnot. With PlayStation, it's just like your thing is like stories.
Yeah, prestige. Like,
stories, why would you do this to yourselves?
Like before my company all went under and everything like that, our former leader said he wanted to go all in AI as well, and we were all questioning the shit out of him. We're saying, "What do you mean by this?" He never gave a proper answer. But because
so if I pin that, I'll read the next news story because it's more AI. I wrote the headline: Xbox desperately scrambles to make AI relevant to its business. This is from a story via VGC. Which I will read. Microsoft is introducing an Xbox AI that helps players finish games. Copilot for Gaming is described as an AI-driven sidekick, which is designed to be your personalized gaming companion. Players will be able to use the service to get to their favorite games faster, get coaching to improve their skills, and connect to their friends, because we can't do any of that right now. Nope. During the latest episode of the official Xbox podcast, an early prototype of Copilot for Gaming was demonstrated, including an in-game assistance feature which lets players ask for help while still in the game. In an example shown during the video, a Minecraft player picked up some wood and entered a text prompt asking, "Okay, I've got some wood. What can I do with that?" I have some answers. Copilot had some different answers. Copilot for Gaming then replied by telling the player to open their inventory and place the oak logs into the crafting area to turn them into wooden planks, like a tutorial would do.
So they're trying to get rid of a tutorial.
Yeah, no, the tutorial's endless now.
The tutorial never ends.
Yeah.
Another example shows the player on the Xbox mobile app asking the AI, "I want to get back into Age of Empires 4. Can you install it?" The AI then installs the game for the player and offers to give a recap of what happened the last time they played a game. as we all know, Age of Empires is a very story-driven game. A third example shows the AI analyzing the player's situation and offering advice on it. The player is shown in the character select screen in an Overwatch game, asking the AI what to do when their favorite character, Echo, has already been chosen by somebody else. The AI replies, Echo's taken, but Cassidy would be a solid pick with this team. His mid-range hit scan and Mercy's damage boost will work great on Ilios Ruins. That's not what it's called. Plus, you've done great with him on this map before. Later in the demo, the player dies quickly and asks Copilot what happened. Good shot, mate. You stayed in the fight too long after your teammates were downed. Diving straight onto Ramatra was a death sentence. Next time, retreat to regroup with your team. Discussing Xbox's vision for Copilot for Gaming, Xbox Corporate Vice President of Gaming AI, Fatima Kardar, explained that the feature should be entirely optional and shouldn't become overbearing should a player wish to start blah, blah, blah. This follows on from last month's announcement from Microsoft about Muse, which will help game developers come up with ideas for games and somehow help with game preservation by watching thousands of hours of Let's Plays of old games and hallucinating what the game will be like to play. That last part was all me. Well, the reason your old boss at Merge Games couldn't answer the question, what does it mean to go all in on AI, is everybody wants to go all in on AI because they assume it's the next big thing. Like, in terms of like not like NFTs were the next big thing, where they were the next big thing until they weren't, but like, this is the one that's going to stick. The thing about AI is it's a solution looking for a problem. So like, we've built this thing. It can do something. We just have to figure out what it can do. Well, let's plug it into everything and it'll do something. Like, everything in this article already exists. It's already something that exists in the world.
It's very interesting that because I saw the video, edited clips of the video of this, and they were talking about how this AI assistant can help you install games faster. And on the video itself, it showed the user on the product page for a game with the install button right there. And then the user asks the AI assistant, how can I install this game? And then the AI assistant selects the install button for them. Like, it wasn't obvious to begin with. And I think it's really interesting that, Xbox have this Copilot arm and they want to put Copilot in gaming, where Satya Nadella themselves, the CEO of Microsoft, dear listener, has invested something like 80 million into AI. It might be even more than that at this point. And factually came out and said a couple of weeks ago, there is no value in AI. This is the head and the CEO of Microsoft saying this. There is no value in AI. But in order to make the share number go up, because they need to reduce costs somewhere. So if they get this AI stuff down, then they can fire everybody else. They're having to do it. But again, there's no value. I can see a crumb of this from an accessibility point of view, point of view, in terms of having more thorough voice commands for people who have physical disabilities, for example, in order to get the various features and whatnot working on their consoles. But outside of that, I don't know, because everybody moaned at Aloy because she's talking too much at giving solutions. Do you reckon this is going to be any better?
Hey, did you help with this? Well, right, I went through this with God of War. I'm not going through it with you, Xbox. No, like, that's the killer about this technology. Like, we've used like something like this technology for years in like other sectors, and like I've read cool things that we can do with this kind of tech. But like the Silicon Valley, the tech bros, the tech oligarchy, they want to plug it into literally everything. And it's like, cool. So Xbox's big ideas here are to replace Game Pass, replace GameFAQs. Yep. GameFAQs already exist. Replace like the thing that PlayStation 5 can already do. The little help cards. Yeah. Where it's like, I'm stuck on this one bit. Like I was playing Astrobot and I couldn't find one of the hidden things. So I used the card on the PlayStation and it showed me where it was. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do that.
And you know what? The other thing about that was curated and done by a human. It wasn't just scraping video game guides.
Well, that's the other part as well. Like
populating content. Yeah.
So again, like to do the same thought exercise I did in the previous thing. Like, right, let's say this all works and it goes off of that hitch, and you can like, you play fucking Age of Empires and get stuck in Age of Empires and be like, what the fuck do I do next, Copilot? And Copilot tells you. Copilot's getting that information from IGN. Like they've said it, they're getting it from Bing search results. Cool. So that works because there's already a guide that exists for Age of Empires. But like, if people used this system and stopped using guides, all of the guides would go away. And the guides are what make the money for the websites. So once the websites go away and they stop writing guides for new games, not only will Xbox have killed the internet guides as a concept, this will kill itself because it can't. An AI, generative AI thing, Copilot, can't itself figure out how to play a game and then explain that process to a player. It uses somebody else's guide. When there's no more guides, there's no more Copilot.
Exactly. If you cut it off at the source, then the snake will die.
It's the same thing with like writing, and like it's like once you've replaced games, movies, books, whatever with generative AI only has then itself to train itself on, and it will become more incoherent and kill itself.
Yeah, there was an interesting piece that Moody put in the Discord before we sat down to record today about how many AI and like generative chatbots and whatnot, how much wrong stuff they actually return.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think I dropped anything today.
No,
except that London thing.
The London thing, yeah, that was good.
That London thing was amazing,
Tesla.
to be fair. Yeah, just in terms of how much wrong information is being spewed by AI bots, and it's especially prevalent on Twitter, as you would imagine. And it's kind of, if it's then only got that data to scrape, and we know that's factually wrong to begin with, just how much misinformation just gets spread and spread and spread and spread.
It's like, I'm not against guides as a concept. Like, I've used guides before. Like, anyone who's ever played the first Silent Hill looked up how to do the piano puzzle. Don't lie to me. You looked up how to do the piano puzzle. And like I used to just go but like I don't need to. I don't want to ask my bloody Xbox. Like, if I got stuck on something, I would Google it, or I used to before it started telling me to put glue in my pizza and clean my coffee machine by baking bread in it. But so like you've spent billions, and the best you can come up with is GameFAQs.
Yeah.
A thing that's existed for 20 years. Like, people are already sick of YouTube. Like, do you know how many people hate the fact that you have to watch a YouTube video to get a guide for a game and would rather just have like a written thing that they can read? Like, myself included. I fucking hate YouTube guides. Like, I don't want my Xbox telling me how to do something, because I already could do that with the thing on the writing on the thing, but also I can't even trust if it's going to be right.
Yeah, even on the most like advanced bits of AI, bits of tech that like a prevalence of, whether it be like an Echo device or something like that, or even your Siri or whatever it is, the number of times that you're asking it to play a song and it will use a completely different app that you never used, to play that song or whatever it is, and how. I don't think there's been a single instance where I felt comfortable speaking to like whether it's like a Google Home device or whatever it is, in terms of, you know how everybody was weirded out when we were speaking to Xbox Connect back in the day to say Xbox on and stuff like that, because for some reason pressing the big burger button on your controller was too much. You actually to speak to your Connect to do it, and it's kind of, I don't think that's ever going to change.
No, like, there was cool, like, again, Connect was one of those things, Connect voice commands was one of those things where, like, there was some cool implementations of it. Like, when I was playing Mass Effect 3, instead of using the menus to, like, go into, like, squad commands, like, you could just use the Connect sensor and be like, Liara, use whatever, like, special move. Like, that was cool. It felt like I was, like, fucking like actually like Commander Shepard, right? Like shouting at my squad mates. They couldn't understand me half the time. Because I have an accent.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember I had Mario Party 4 or 5, the one that came with the microphone, and like we tried to play the voice games on that, and Jesus Christ, like we were all had like different like accents from different parts, and you'd be like, how many toads were there in the screen? And you'd be like 4, and it would be like, and then the Nintendo would be like, did you say banana? And you'd just be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
But tangent aside, like yeah, it like if show me something cool that you could do with AI and I'll be all on board. Like right now, all you're showing me is you're gonna make my games worse. You've already made my internet experience worse because I can't trust the information I find on the internet anymore.
Yeah.
Like, stop making everything worse, and maybe we'll stop complaining about AI nonstop. Which we don't. To be fair,
cool we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
and that doesn't already exist.
Doesn't already exist. Yeah. Isn't going to cost everybody their fucking jobs, because there's an end goal here where it's like, if you succeed in putting all of this AI shit everywhere, like the number isn't going to go up because nobody's going to be employed. Nobody's going to be able to buy your damn games. Your $100 AI slob video games where you can ask Aloy about the weather.
Something cool, something that hasn't been done before, something that's not replicating something that doesn't exist, and something that doesn't involve the Earth's resources in order to make it run.
Yeah. Can we have some water as well? I kind of need that. Like, the two examples, because like we have been kind of restrained on AI. We haven't brought it up a lot on this podcast for, good reason, which is it sucks when I ain't talking about it. Even the two from last month where it's like, oh yeah, you can help game developers come up with ideas. Motherfucker. No game developer needs help coming up with ideas.
Yeah, they need time and they need money. Those are the two things they need.
Creative people will never stop coming up with ideas. I promise you. And like game preservation, it's like, well, if it watches the videos, it'll be able to recreate the game. I've seen AI Minecraft. If you look this way and then look back again, it can't even remember what was over here when it went off the camera. How's it going to recreate fucking Resident Evil from PlayStation 1? What are we doing?
I do like the idea of people going to Miyamoto saying, Shigure-san, I've got an amazing idea for a game.
I will admit, like that whole AI Minecraft thing, you could create one hell of a horror game out of that. But that's about it. And you can only do it once. What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
End of the world.
I mean, yeah, the whole fucking world's gonna explode anyway, so.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I've always said, I don't need the state pension to stay afloat. My retirement plan is complete societal collapse.
Yes. It turns into Mad Max.
I should have put a bet on. There wouldn't have been any money for me to get paid when it happened.
Yeah.
But, at least I would have been right.
There's some solace to be taken in that.
Oh, it's just like an existential nightmare. I just want to wake up. Am I in Silent Hill? Is that what's happening?
We'll see how foggy it is tomorrow morning.
We'll see.
Imagine, like, AI QA tester. Like,
it already is with automation.
I mean, automation and, like, this type of AI is a completely separate thing.
Well, the person has to type it in, though. There's still a person doing the automated thing, testing and everything like that.
That's really the key difference we're talking about. It's like, is there a human hand involved? Like, if an AI goes, like, because I imagine, to bring this around to, like, something one of us is familiar with, I imagine in QA there's a lot of tedium.
Yes.
And, like, it would be cool if we could make some sort of AI program to remove some of that tedium. So, like, let you focus on better, like, more important aspects of the QA job. That's a great use case for AI. Replacing you entirely with AI is not a great use case for AI. It's a terrible use case for AI.
the thing is about it is that AI can't look outwards. That's the thing about it. Like, it can't think of the tests that we would bring up and do and everything like that. And yeah, that's just how it is and everything. And it's just, it's the same thing with like the Sony one. It's a terrifying thing. I agree where you guys are coming from. Like, it's like the same thing as like when everyone was I saw people kicking off about when Disney's Nick Fury show last year or the year before that, its opening was AI generated, but it was it was by a human hand, like a person coded it and created it themselves using AI and everything like that.
Person signed that off as well.
Yeah.
You have infinite money. Like, what the fuck do you need AI for?
No, but this is the thing about it, though. Like you're saying about the human hand and everything like that. The human hand is still there for it. It's just not doing the drawing part and everything. But it's like doing the code and everything like that. And it's just like that one. I would side still. That's still not really okay.
No, it's not okay.
You would still want like directors and everything like that and people designing it and everything like that. Not doing a coding for that, but coding is basically also like what video games are at the same time. So it's like it's the same bloody it's
lines of
apples
code
and oranges at the same time. That's the thing about it. The only thing is about it is that obviously designers and everything like that create the assets and everything like that, but it's people coding the games to help get those assets to work how you want them to do it. So it's like that's basically what was the Disney that Nick Fury show's opening basically was, and it's So what's the difference? They're the same to me. That's how it is in my head. And so it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's terrifying. And I don't fully really know where I land when it comes to AI because there's so many different things you hear about. Like AI, I'm like, I'll use it on my phone every time. But it's not obviously trying to take over my job and everything. There's AI in my PlayStation, there's AI in my PC and on my TV and everything like that.
Yeah, sure. Generative AI is badly named, I think.
Probably.
In that, like, when you talk about AI, like I've seen people talk about AI in games, like not what we're talking about. I mean, like enemy AI, like character AI. You know, like how like you would talk about Alien Isolation. The best part of that game is the AI. In that game, it's like
for the alien,
and like because AI has become this buzzword. It's like you'll talk about that, and someone will instantly have a knee-jerk reaction. You talk about AI. AI is the worst, and it's like no, this version of AI is potentially like completely devastating,
and devastating. Yeah,
like AI's been used in medical technology for years to help diagnose cancer. Like that's good. More of that, less of it trying to make video games. Not helping make video games, but actually making video games, like the Aloy video clip or AI Minecraft. Like in terms
nobody's mad at the AI in Photoshop, which helps you cut around something and cut something out.
Yeah, I'd rather not do that. Thank you. Like that sucks. Exactly. Like I like having assistive tools that I can use. Like, but I'm not going to use AI to generate my video. I'm not going to use AI to generate my thumbnail. I'm going to use Vitz. He's great at it. Like, I'm not going to use AI to generate any part of my video, like my script or my outline or my research. Like, I'm going to do all that myself. Because if I didn't want to do any of that myself and I wanted to outsource it to AI, I have to ask the fundamental question of why was I even doing it in the first place if I couldn't be bothered to do it? But, like, I would use a tool to help me maybe like make transitions smoother, like where or something like that, or like say like cut the thing out of the thing. Like it would be great not to have to like when I've got moving like assets on the screen, having to individually keyframe out on each scene, on each frame. That would be fantastic if I had a tool that could do that for me. But I would still have to program it to do that. It's just such a mess of a conversation. We've got ourselves in a real mess here, boys.
I'm not going to bring up the other thing I wanted to bring up for it because I think it will be here for hours for it and everything. So,
now I really want to know what it is.
Oh, it's
about the curious.
It's about the brutalist thing. the film Rootless about the AI and everything like that, about the helping them speak Hungarian a lot better and
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, I've got a video queued up about that actually. If we had a conversation about that, like I'd like to not be a bit more informed about it.
Sound like to me, I get no. I saw obviously I saw your guys' response in the Discord about obviously the backlash it's been getting and everything like that, and said like some of your response I think Amy was like, why didn't you just hire Hungarian people and everything like that? Which I see your point. I even agree with you.
Oh, this is the thing about the accents. It's like
that's
it's
what
like
I said.
the guy where the film director said like, well, we use AI to make the accents more authentic. Hire Hungarians. They have really authentic Hungarian accents.
I do agree with you from a certain point, but at the same time, I would argue to the point of just like, but these two people have did an incredible performance, and I'm curious. My big question is, how much has it really changed their accent? Because apparently their accent was apparently really good. And I'm just curious how much have they changed it to make it even more quote unquote authentic and everything like that. Because at the end of the day, it's a tool. Because you see a lot of the music people changing their voices to change it all up. It's a tool. It's the same. It to me is the same thing.
Like I said, the thing about hire Hungarians, like it's the same. It comes down to the same thing. It comes down to the same thing for me as every single fucking movie I've ever seen where a trans person is played by a cis person. It's like, fuck off, hire a trans person. It's the same thing with this, where it's like, if you wanted an authentic Hungarian accent, hire a Hungarian. Like that's where I'd come in with that one. It's like, oh, we used AI to make the Hungarian accents better. Like, even if you didn't want to hire a Hungarian, hire a fucking voice coach. They exist too. Like, there's people whose entire jobs is like helping people.
They did.
Then why the fuck do you need to use the?
They did. Now I'm hideously ignorant to the situation, so please correct me.
No, I just want to say that.
So do they have like a? So you know how like films, like most films these days, they'll have like investment from China. And like in the opening credits crawl, there'll be like a Chinese studio house which is involved and things like that. Yeah. Do they have a technical partner associated with this film that provided all the computers or whatnot in this film? I'm not sure if there are computers, but like any tech and things like that. So say if it was, for example, Microsoft that did that. So then Microsoft and when their representatives, when they got involved, to say, oh, we got this AI tool you can use. It'd be really good if you chose to use this kind of thing. Even though there are perfectly reasonable tools like hiring Hungarian actors or voice coaches or whatever it is to actually do that. So it might be a business choice as well. Not to give them an out, but just thinking about the reality of the situation.
Yeah, it's like when Stargate used to have actual American generals in the show because they were partnered with the American military. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, I don't know. I can't answer that when it comes to that thing. I haven't seen the movie or anything like that. All I'm hearing, like I say, apparently their voices were still very good. So then I'm just curious then why.
What's the point?
Put the tool, use the tool and everything like that. But my argument still is, Amy, I completely agree with what you're saying and everything like that. Then why don't you just hire like Hungarian people and everything like that? But I'm still in the part of like, but it's also okay to hire the best person for the job, and the best person for the job was those two people who played those performances, who got nominated for Oscars and everything, and also one of them won the Oscar and everything and everything. And I know awards don't mean anything and everything like that for it, but that's how I'm in the middle of that still for myself, because I do believe sometimes people do deserve just to get for on merit.
That's cool. And my rebuttal to that would be, if their accents weren't good enough that they had to use something to make their accents better, maybe they weren't the best people for the job.
But I don't disagree with what you're saying. I do. It's the thing.
I'm not trying to be a dick.
I know you're not, and I'm not trying to be a dick either. That's what I said. I don't want to say, if I'm coming across as it, please both of you tell me.
No,
okay?
Absolutely.
And everything like that. You're fine. And everything, and chat. And everything, just let me know and everything. I'm more just like trying to get, like, we hear all these things about AI and everything, and I agree with what you said, Amy. Is like, AI is probably the wrong word for it, and at the end of the day, they need to probably change it up, because my brain, when I hear AI, I'm just thinking, oh god,
No, I know.
It's
That's
the
why
worst
we
thing in
haven't
the
really
world.
brought it up
Yeah.
on the podcast very much
Yeah.
because, in a way, like if it wasn't like this infectious disease that's like slithering across the entirety of society, it's not worth talking about. Like in most circumstances, the Aloy video and Copilot for gaming is so pointless and unnecessary that it wouldn't be worth talking about. Like in isolation, a lot of these things that keep cropping up, like Muse, the other Xbox thing that I brought up earlier, it's like it's not worth talking about. It's bollocks. Like we're gonna preserve games with AI. No, you're not. Like that's not how that works. It's like the NFT craze. If you buy a gun skin in one game, you can bring it into another game. No, you can't. That's not how video games work. Like that's why we never brought it up on the podcast because it's complete nonsense. Like, but unlike NFTs and cryptocurrencies and the blockchain gaming and stuff, this has like the backing of like all of the big companies, right? It's causing problems like across the industry, which is why, unfortunately, sometimes we have to bring up this complete bollocks. My thing, I always go back to, and this was a quote about books, I think. I'm going to paraphrase it. Like, in terms of like generative AI, the things that we're talking about in these stories, if you couldn't be bothered to make it, why should I be bothered to play it? Like, it was about a book. It was like, if you can be bothered to write it, why should I be bothered to read it? Like, that's basically where I stand with it. It's like, if you couldn't be bothered to make a thing, I'm not going to watch it because it's probably not worth watching or reading or playing. Or
Like for me, the tools which like democratize things to say I don't necessarily have the talents to do graphic design, but I can use a tool to help me do that. So whatever talents I have, I can then maximize and then use those tools to cut out round a border or whatever it happens to be, kind of thing. There's a difference between that and completely replacing that option just to say, oh, I'm going to put a prompt in and it's going to spit out whatever result it is because it's scraped from everything else. Now,
it's the thing we've danced around all discussion.
Yeah, it's that thing of the one is helping someone use their talent and the other one is theft. There's no two ways around it. That's where I draw the line in terms of how is this AI model trained to begin with? And it's scraping all the data from the content that people have put online and shared and whatever else it is, and that's where the theft element comes in. And that'll be my kind of line in the sand, my hard rule to say, okay, that's not what I don't want, because the end goal for all these AI companies, all these companies investing in AI, is to get rid of all the creative people because they feel we don't need them anymore. They are possibly the most expensive part of this operation that they need because they have talent. And if you can train an AI model to essentially copy all of their work and just spit it out at a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the speed that it would take one of these creative people to do so, then that's their end goal, because costs will go down, therefore money will go up.
Right.
That's all it is at the end of the day.
That is appalling and everything, and I do agree with what you said there and everything.
I get that corporation's going to corporation, but there's better ways to go about it.
There's better ways to cooperate.
Yes.
Well, it's like, I mean, I got you to... I got you to do the thumbnail for my next video. Like, I could have used whatever fucking image generation software exists out there because I couldn't do close to as good a job as Vitz has done. And, like, but what's that trained on? It's trained on every piece of art that exists on the internet related to Elden Ring. It's like, cool, like, people made that art, like, and that to me is a disrespect. Like, the way the AI reuses like people's art is very disrespectful. Like, it's highly likely that this podcast has been scraped. I imagine 100%. They got nothing useful out of it, but we're definitely in fucking someone's AI algorithm somewhere. Unfortunately for them.
It's one podcast said
this. We're the wrench in the machine. We're idiots. We're the idiots fighting back by being idiots.
We are the rage against the machine is what it is.
But yeah, like, I imagine, like, if I release it like the video about Elden Ring, and it ends up in fucking everyone's AI algorithms, and then someone generates a video about Elden Ring that plagiarizes a bunch of my points, it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I worked really hard on that script. Like, everything I wrote was mine. Like, everything I said was mine. All of the gameplay footage I captured was either mine or someone else's, who I asked for permission to use it specifically for a reason. Like, the art in there is Vitz's because I asked him specifically to make art for me. Like, the only thing I didn't create myself was the font. It was already in the machine.
Yeah, there's a social contract, and generative AI breaks it.
Yeah. And it can't make anything itself. It can't, generative AI can't create anything itself. It can only regurgitate things that it's been trained on. It can't make The Last of Us. It can't make Mass Effect. It can't make Journey.
It can't make anything.
Yeah. It can't even make Minecraft. Again, I've seen AI Minecraft. Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's a hallucinatory nightmare. It's like, if you ever want to know what it's like to take mushrooms, not that I know, like just watch the video. I'll send you the video. You'll know what it's like to be on a bad drug trip.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, this AI thing and everything, where I think a lot of things are spewing not enough facts for it, and a lot of people are just spewing nonsense. It's all over the place, I think.
Yeah. I think this generative AI bubble will burst, just like every other
100%.
thing that's come in the past few years. But this one's going to be a big one. Like, when NFTs burst, it wasn't really a big deal because no one had really invested that much in it.
This has got like Web 2.0 bubble burst written all over it. That kind
this
of
has got pivot to video bubble bursting all over it. Like,
yeah,
this one's going to be bad.
Waiting for Web 3.0, so
the written word is dead. Video is the future.
Who needs writers? Oh no, it turned out we did.
But that's the thing about it. Yeah, I think ultimately, like, I agree. I think this bubble will burst, but it'll just come back down to of just the equilibrium of just like go back to what was working.
Yeah, you'll know the bubble's bursting when a company like Microsoft does something where it's like, we're going back to basics.
Or we're firing 10,000 people.
I mean, yeah, they'll fire 10,000 people because they've spent billions on AI. But you'll see the quiet pullback within the next couple of years of just like, hey, well, we're not investing as much, or we've stopped talking about it as much. Or they'll start pushing the next new thing. It's like history repeats itself. Good job, that can was empty. Should we like get the fuck out of this?
Yes.
Quagmire.
It's a web and a half. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, I feel like
again,
I was being an ass there when I was because I don't know if I was getting my point across.
I think it's more. I think we have more useful discussions on the podcast when we're not necessarily in disagreement.
I'm making an ass of myself.
No, when we're not necessarily completely on the same page.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I agree. Yeah. That's the thing about it. That's why I'm going in another tangent. I apologize.
That's fine.
That's why I hate when I hear people say, "Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate." Why?
No, I shouted. I remember
it's not genuine. It's not genuine. I fucking hate it.
I remember when Keith did that once on this podcast, and I let him have it.
Yeah.
And to his credit, he did say, "You're good point." Because it's like the devil don't need no advocate.
Yeah, devil don't need no fucking advocate. Fucking hate it.
Like, just say your point. Like, say what you think. That's all you can do. But AI it's a messy subject.
Regenerative
AI is a messy subject.
Yeah, it's cancer.
I wish it had never come up. Can I do the Lord of the Rings thing? I wish this had never happened. I wish this had never come to pass. So do all who see such times. But that is all they have to do is decide what the time. You're right, Gandalf. I'm going to Molotov co-pilot somehow.
That is not what I said.
Allegedly, that was a joke for legal reasons. There's a lot of Molotovs flying around at the moment. I am not going to be throwing any of them.
All being on the receiving end of them, hopefully.
It's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head.
Yay.
This is the game we play every week where I try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever gets as closest to the score at the time of recording gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of 2 upcoming games. One of them was Assassin's Creed Shadows. The review embargo drops next week.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything riding on that. Definitely no pizzas.
No, I fucking forgot about that.
I put a pizza bet tracker at the bottom of the doc.
Yeah, no, I know that. No, I just forgot that we made a bet about Assassin's Creed. I forgot about that.
Amy bets that Moody will get Silent Hill 2'd by counter-picking Assassin's Creed Shadows in Fantasy Critic.
And yeah, what's your thing? You have to have it at a certain thing.
If it has an 85 plus during OpenCritic, I win. Otherwise, but it'll be next Thursday. If it has that by next Thursday when we record. Should be fun. Please be good. We also tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Wonder Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Vitz, you guessed it would get an 88. Amy guessed it would get 9. I'm trying to we'll talk really slowly so he puts his headphones back on.
Oh.
And Moody guessed it would get an 87. At the time of recording, nailed it. Wonder Stop has an OpenCritic average of 80, which gives Moody a point, which puts the scores at Amy 4, Vitz 7, Moody 9, with 1 draw.
Yeah, you made it easy for me this week, you guys. Just so you know.
Like, I'm sticking with what I said last week. I'm going to be optimistic. And you know what? If I lose heavily while being optimistic, that doesn't sound like my problem. That sounds like the game critic's problem.
No, I remember Wonder
It's a
Stop and
children
everything
were
like that. Wonder Stop, I think it screams everything like a game that probably all 3 of us would really like and everything. But we know how the critics are when it comes to indie games. Half of them don't even review the freaking thing and it doesn't get enough scores.
I remember, this is going to be controversial. Bear with me. I remember when Mass Effect 3 came out. And you could read all of the reviews. And you could tell which ones had finished it and which ones hadn't. Not because all of the ones that had finished it were like, oh, the ending sucked. But because everyone who finished it mentioned the ending in some way in their review. And then there were a bunch of reviews that didn't mention the ending at all. Like, in terms of, like, it being controversial, it could be controversial, or like, well, I liked it, right? Like, not like, oh, here's spoilers, just like, you know, like, every reviewer that finished that game had at least one sentence about the ending in some way. Yeah. And then there was a bunch of where it's like, you didn't finish this game.
Exactly. There is no
Or they
way.
just didn't want to talk about the ending because
there was no shitstorm. That's the thing you got to remember, like, because it was reviews and review embargoes and stuff. Yeah. There was no shitstorm. Like, they didn't know there was a shitstorm coming. The shitstorm didn't happen for like a week. People had to finish the game first.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting.
But it was funny. Like, you could see it. Like, there was like that split difference.
Didn't they get that game late? I know.
I had no idea. I wasn't reviewing games back then.
I don't know, but yeah.
Probably.
Sure.
They get all games late. Like, you get fucking massive RPGs like 2 weeks before their like deadline, and it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to play this game in 2 weeks? And write a review. It's not like you can just bag out a review in an hour.
And do my other job at the same time.
Yeah, you shouldn't write a review in an hour. God. This week, we're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of 3 upcoming games. The first one is 33 Immortals.
Moody, the action is on you, my friend.
You're first this week.
Is this 33 Immortals?
It's that Xbox game. It's the roguelike for 33 players.
People at once. Isn't it just on Xbox and Epic?
I don't know.
I think
it is.
Actually, no. It's shit. It's coming out in early access. We should delete this.
Yeah, early access. I was going to say.
God damn it.
All right. So the game.
So this week we've got 2 games to guess. The first one, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition.
Moody, go.
Don't you love video games? Aren't they great?
85.
This was the Wii U one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yes.
This is one of the last games to get ported over to the Switch.
You say that. There's tons of games that have been. I'm just going to throw it out there. There's a
there's
lot of games that haven't been ported over the Switch.
Woodwork.
That's why I want a Wii U. Thing about Switch ports of Wii U games is they can't capture the majesty of Wii U games. You don't have that second screen. That second screen was great. You ever play Zombie U? thoroughly average game made more memorable by the fact that you had the second screen. Just throw that out there.
I would like to go with the good old standby that never fails. 88, please.
What do I think? Thing is, I tried Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and it seemed like it was gonna be a great story. Like, I really wanted to play it for the story, but I don't vibe with that particular style of RPG gameplay.
What's that particular style, mate? I'm asking because I don't know.
I don't know. Well, this reviewed well enough on Wii U, and I'm sure it's going to review well on Switch. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it had like this MMO style like combat system where you auto attacked, and then you would like wait for your cooldowns for your special moves, and you would push the buttons to do the special moves, and it was about positioning and stuff. So I played it for a couple of hours, and I was like, I'm not vibing with it, but I was gutted because I was like, I really like the setup, like, and the characters, and I really want to experience the story, but I can't do this for 8 hours. I'm sorry.
Apparently, I say Xenoblade games are apparently like really good.
People really like them.
Story, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure there's a video. I don't know if I finished watching it. From the guy who you showed me, who did the list.
Daryl, he loved it. That was why I that was why I put it on my list, because I was like, damn, I have to try this.
What's his name again?
Daryl Talks Games.
Daryl Talking. I'm pretty sure I follow him. No, I obviously don't. That's interesting. Okay, that's annoying. But yeah, he's talked about it. Like one of his videos, like what you showed me about his backlog, like a person he knows who, I think is no longer here.
Etika. Yeah, the whole thing.
Loved that game. Like played like hundreds of hours, 100 odd hours on it, and just fell in love and
that was
devoured it.
So like in his, I guess we're on a tangent, in his like video like series, like the thing that inspired him to do the backlog thing was like seeing how much this game meant to him.
Yeah.
To Etiquette. And like it inspired me a little bit. Like by like I was like, I guess third party inspiration, where it was just like, damn, because that's why we play games. To have these hugely impactful experiences. It's not just about like, oh, I'm playing this game for entertainment. It's like I want an experience like I had with Elden Ring or Tears of the Kingdom or Silent Hill 2. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I think sometimes you forget that.
Yeah, the one I was watching was that he's just done his
he makes
was what he did a month ago. Yeah, it's a game's about letting go. Don't watch it because I'm pretty sure that one of them's he does spoilers for both games he talks about.
No, I've seen it. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
I watch all his. I watch all his
videos. It's really good, even if you haven't played the games.
Daryl Talks Games is a really good channel.
Yeah.
He has really interesting ideas about games. I like them. I guess an 84 for this.
Nice.
That was its Wii U score.
That's why I
was thinking. That's why I was thinking go for 84, but I thought, you know what? This is the definitive edition. That means it's probably the entire game. Probably adding in new things, and it's on the Switch.
But it doesn't have the Wii U gamepad, therefore it suffers. I am going to make the hell out of that video essay defending the Wii U gamepad right after I defend the Kinect.
Yeah.
What is my life?
Open that video by saying, look, there's 13...
Just holding it up. Look at this.
Yeah. There's 30 million other people I don't have issues with watching this video. The rest of you, Planet Earth, you're going to hear about this.
I've got some things to say.
Exactly. But again, going back to like what we were saying about Xbox, this is only on Nintendo games, the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise. They obviously do so well that they're obviously able to keep them on there and not worry about it to make money, which is a great thing to think, you know?
I think it's a scope thing as well. Like they don't strike, and I don't mean this in a negative way. They don't strike me as like supremely expensive games to make, where they need to be like
Japanese
on every
developer creating a non-expensive game. What a surprise!
Where they don't need to be on every platform and sell 100,000 million copies like to break even. It's like it just it seems like it's scoped correctly for the audience that it has, and that audience is growing. We're also going to guess the OpenCritic average of Atelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories in the Envision Land. Shout out to Russ for picking this in Fantasy Critic.
Yeah. Possibly the longest game title I've ever heard.
Can't be. What about that Dead Rising DLC?
That's true.
What was that?
That's got to be
called?
up there. But while
Dead
Amy
Rising?
looks that up, Moody, what's your score for Atelier Yumie?
This is a very long-running series as well.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's even better. Okay, I need to have a look at this. What's the other games got?
Just type in Atelier because they have different names.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I will say, looking at the trailers which are running on Steam right now on the Steam page, the most prominent thing are the size of all the breasts of all these female characters and how impossibly large they are.
Hey, I'm just
in
gonna
terms
say
of
that was the first
how
thing
do
you
these
said.
women
That
not
was the
have-
first thing you noticed. It says more
That's a
about
you
you.
thing.
That's a you thing.
Yeah, it says more about
Nope,
you, mate.
I mean, dear listener, bring up that trailer on your Steam page and wonder how these people don't have severe back problems.
I just watched the video of a person of a game I played on 360 years ago, Azula's Wrath. That game's amazing. It's bonkers. But they've got women
crazy.
in that who are just what you were saying on in this
Okay.
game, and they've got full on, and I mean
can't-
it's full on. Amy will love this. Full on jiggle physics.
I know. I've played.
Brilliant.
I've played Azura's
Yeah.
Wrath. I've played Azura's Wrath DLC. I own Azura's Wrath on Xbox 360. It's a
Great.
phenomenal game. There's nothing
Fuck
wrong with
Capcom for taking the ending out of the,
and
making
putting
it
selling it as
DLC.
DLC.
Vile
There's
bastards.
nothing wrong with big titty waifus.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe I'm the one that
I
has
never
to
said
say
there
this.
was. And I never said there was. I was saying this is the most prominent thing that stood out to me in their marketing material.
Yeah.
Moody, what are you giving this game?
I'll go 79.
Okay.
Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Sounds like a Dead Rising thing.
What did you say, Randy?
Sounds like a Dead Rising.
No. What was
It's under the number. The score.
79.
79. Did you say one of it?
Please, Colonel.
May I go with an 83, please?
For crying out loud. That was a Jack O'Neill reference.
I think people are going to love these big old animators in this game.
These games, they
Well,
do,
hell yeah.
they do like, I've noticed, because Russ picks them. I don't know if he's ever played one, but he's pretty consistent in picking them in Fantasy Critic. And I have played one. I got a review code for it. I did not care for it.
Not enough waifu titties in it.
Well, you had to do all this alchemy stuff, and I didn't really get it. And like, it didn't have great level design for me. Like the character
didn't
design was
jiggle.
impeccable. Wait till I tell you
One
about a game
complaint
called.
has been shed on this podcast.
Wait till I tell you about a game called Knights of Azure. no, that game. Woo, that's a very special experience.
Yeah. Just remember, dear listener, not a complaint, just an observation.
Vitz is not against big titty. I don't
Big
know
titties.
waifus.
Mommy waifus.
I mean, I liked them so much, I decided to grow my own.
There you go.
76, baby.
I thought she was going to go
What happened to
69
being
there.
positive, Ames?
No. Don't try that shit with me, Vitz.
What are you
I'm
about?
being
This is the lowest score here.
This is and I'm the lowest score for the other one as well. I never said I was
Well,
going.
why
I
would
never
you be
said I was
positive?
going to be naive. I said I was going to be positive.
Right.
So me and Vitz are the positive ones on big titty waifus.
Just wait till you see some of my. Just wait till you. Vitz put a post on Bluesky about my upcoming video that I thought was fascinating. Which I replied to. One of the lines you said was was that I was going to make videos about games that we all love.
Yes.
And I replied and I went, really? Games that we all love. And like,
Well.
what Vitz couldn't see in that moment was I was looking at the spreadsheet with the list of all of the ideas that I have for videos and going, I don't think that's the case.
Well, we know that the one and only David Mark Moody is going to experience the Lands Between for the first time later on this year. And they may well fall in love with this game. And then it will be a title that we all love.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
I hope you're not putting a lottery on this.
Should we have a pizza bet, Vitz? Do you think we could have do we disagree? Do we think like he's going to fall in love with it, and you think he's not going to fall in love with it? Are we having a pizza bet?
See now.
What do you think? Do you think Moody's going to love Elden Ring, or do you think he's not going to love Elden Ring by the end of the stream?
Oh, I think he's not going to love it.
Interesting. I'll pizza bet that. I think Moody is going to want to play more. I don't think, and maybe he's not necessarily be like put a definitive like thing in like I love this, I hate this. I think he's going to want to play more by the end of the stream.
Hey,
if you're up for a pizza bet, pizza bet, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I am making the worst pizza bets this year.
All I can say is that we're all going to be. I'm already there, but we're all three of us are going to be obese by the end of the year.
No, you two are. I'm making terrible bets. I shouldn't be making. I'm being very irresponsible with my money, and you're wasteland.
So, what's the quantifier? That Moody actually plays the game afterwards, or just says that he wants to play
the game afterwards? Like, I think he'll want to play. I think he will express an interest in playing more.
Okay.
In playing on.
Fair enough.
That's my specific bet on that.
Verbiage. Okay, fine.
I know what he's like about actually playing games. He might not get around to it, but I think he will express an interest because I'll ask him at the end of the stream. I'll be like, so do you want to play more of this or do you not want to play more of this? And Moody might lie just to cost me a pizza. Okay, but you know what? By the rules of the higher land of the pizza bet rules, I will have to stick to what Moody says.
Okay.
So it's really it's up to Moody.
As will I, my friend. As will I.
What is the end of this podcast devolves into? I don't know.
No idea.
But Moody, it's your time to shine. Please get us out of here.
Hello, everybody. It's time to go. Kick ass. Take the weekend, high five that sky, live long and prosper. I will try and figure out write up a new one of these, I swear, but I don't know when. I might AI it. Let's speak to chat. The eyes I'm getting right now.
I still know where you live for the next few weeks, Moody.
I haven't told anyone yet. I'm on podcast.
I still know where you live forever, Moody.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You will never move from that place of residence.
From this spot.
Fly another plane into your house.
Okay.
Sorry, were you done?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Bye, everybody.